Hey there, baseball fans. Ben here, and I am back today opening packs of 1986 Topps baseball cards. I've got one rack pack, two wax packs, and a bonus Sports Flicks pack. I know it's not Topps from 1986, but it is a 1986 Sports Flicks pack. So what I'm looking for today I'm looking for, Nolan Ryan, Ryne Sandberg, Shawon Dunston. Those are some of my favorite players that I still collect. I do have each of those cards from 86, but the Nolan Ryan, I only have like one from when I was a kid, and so it's a little worse for the wear. So I'd be stoked to get something like that. And looking for any other interesting cards or rookies in here. I know there aren't a lot in terms of errors or variations, so just looking to see what we find. Fully intact piece of gum. Woo! Doesn't mean I'm eating it though. So these were, if I recall, these are the ones that are like all up and down and all over the place in terms of orientation. So I do love this set though. Just very hard to mistake when you see a 1986 Topps for anything else. There's Dan Quisenberry right there getting a submarine pitch on as he did. Rick Mahler. Leon Durham with his fancy glasses. He was wearing those before Dwight Schrute ever had them. This is right before he left the Cubs. Oh, look, there's a Pete Rose. Kind of a retrospective Pete Rose card. So that's one of the cooler subsets in here. The Pete Rose years. It's funny because he wasn't retiring at this point. He actually was in the league a little bit longer, but I'll put that aside. Jack Morris. So he's a Hall of Famer. And he has a Hall of Fame mustache, as you know I like to say. So that's a good one. Craig Reynolds. Rick Manning. Mid-sentence, by the way. Good job, photographer. Get rid of our sweepstakes card. There are our Reds leaders, which Dave Conception on the front. Jose Rijo. There he is. Looking suave. Dick Hauser, the manager for the Royals. Hal McRae, who became manager later. Rusty Staub, who I just finished Ron Darling's book, The 108 Stitches, with some baseball tales in there. He had a lot of good things to say about Rusty Staub. Look at that long career, starting with the Colt 45s way back in the early 60s. So that's an interesting one. Speaking of Ron Darling's book, Dave Johnson plays a key role in there too. And the Dodgers leaders. So that's our first pack. Let's jump over to our second wax pack. And I do always prefer the wax packs, even though the gum and the wax ruins a lot of the cards. It's just, this is how baseball cards were meant to be consumed. You know, look at that, all wrecked up. And on a Hall of Famer, no less. So when we get to that Gary Carter, we'll take a closer look at it. There's Paul Molitor, Brewers superstar. Spent most of his career with the Brewers, and then later on was on other teams, but it's a good one. I actually have that one in my collection already. Bill Allman. Vance Law stretching to get to that base. Johnny Ray. I'm thinking about the Billy Joel song, We Didn't Start the Fire. They mentioned Johnny Ray. It's not this Johnny Ray, though. George Wright. Greg Gross. There's that Gary Carter. Great catcher for the Mets, Expos, and others. And this one having some nice gum stains on the back. Talk about that Ron Darling book. Didn't have a lot of great things to say about Gary Carter, also known as the Kid. There's Brian Harper. A very nice posed look there. It's a nice bat there. I like the wood grain on it. Tony Phillips, who they surprised him as he was signing an autograph. Hey, Tony! Huh? And they snapped the picture. There's Andre Dawson on the Expos leaders. Just a couple of years before he joined the Cubs. That's the year before his MVP season, I believe. Whitey Herzog, famous pitcher, turned manager, and Denny Gonzalez. All right, so those are our two wax packs. Let's check out our 48 pack, the 48 card rack pack here. Let's see who we have in there. We get one. Actually, we don't get. Plus one special. Wait. 48 cards plus one special. One special what? We will never know. It's actually an all-star card, which you do know, but I just think it's hilarious that they called it one special blank. Just trying to be all cool and fancy like all those people who cut these wax packs, these rack packs open. I don't really like it though, I'm just gonna rip the next one. And of all of them, we get Lamar Hoyt. Womp womp. But we do get Reggie Jackson taking batting practice, so that's pretty good. Hall of Famer there. I believe he's in the Hall of Fame as a Yankee too. But there's at the Angels at the end of his career. Don Carmen, who I actually did learn a little bit about when I read the book The Wax Pack, which if you haven't read that book, I highly suggest it. But he essentially takes the pack of 1986 Topps, opens them up, and then searches for each of these players, and Don Carmen was one of the ones. Gary Pettis, Lee Mazzilli, Alvin Davis, Mike Boddicker, Dave Bergman, Shane Raleigh, Ken Oberkfell, which I always like saying his name. He also looks super happy there with a nice beard. So there you go. Lots of blue. And there's a great Kirby Puckett. Second year card for Kirby Puckett. Fantastic. Looking good. And a very nice light blue Twins uniform. So that's a good card to have. There's old Charlie throwing knuckleballs, who lasted in the league forever. Bob Boone. All right. So there's cell 1. This rack pack. I guess the reason they do cut these open is because they really are impossible to get open otherwise. If I can find the seam on the back, I'll just rip it. Yes! And it didn't work. Alright, fine, I give up. I got them here, might as well use the scissors. Wayne Krenchicki. So I know nothing about Wayne Krenchicki. Never heard of him. He's clearly a bit of a journeyman there. But I'm going to look him up because I wonder what happened to that guy. There's Dusty Baker. Became a great manager. Still managing right now. Luis Salazar, who did join the Cubs after this. Oh, the Roger Maris turned back the clock. Of all the turn back the clocks in this set, this is the one you want. The Roger Maris. 61 homers in 1961 to break Babe Ruth's record that would stand until Mark McGwire and Barry Bonds and Sammy Sosa and I think Ken Griffey Jr. all ended up breaking it in short succession. There's Dennis Eckersley with a nice looking card. I actually find this card interesting because I don't think pitchers typically have, is this his glove is my question for you. Because they often don't have the window in the glove like that, because then presumably the batter could see your finger position on the ball as you set up and know what pitch is coming. So interesting thought there. If you have information otherwise, please let me know. There's Bobby Valentine looking very young as a manager. Managed for a long time. There's Lee Smith, Hall of Famer there for the Cubs. Ed Vandenberg. Jeff Reardon, who has had a long, lengthy, successful career and long, lengthy, successful beard. And a grimace on his face in that picture. All right, our last cell here. I'm just going to write scissors because I give up. The ever-present checklist. Joe Niekro. Not to be confused with his brother Phil, also a pitcher. There's Sparky Anderson looking really happy there. I had an autograph from him as a kid. I sent him a letter and asked for an autograph, and he sent it back, so that made me happy. Good feelings for him because of that. There's Pete Rose, the manager card, not his player card, his manager card. Because he was a player manager. I can't imagine that actually happening now. That sounds crazy. Look at that. There's a George Brett. Great shape. Decent centering. Oh, actually not very good centering. But that's awesome. That's a good card to get. I think it's so funny that the Royals and the Twins were both very, very invested in that light blue color uniform. Storm Davis, rear and back. Willie Randolph. Sid Bream, who played a big role in those later Braves teams that were successful. Jorge Bell. Look at him. Enjoying himself before having an MVP season and joining the Cubs. All right, so that's what we have from 1986 Topps. And actually, you know, I love the iconic set. It's not a great set, and not a great year in terms of rookies or amazing cards to look for. So, you know, it's easy to be disappointed with it, I guess. But now we're looking at the Sports Flicks. We only get 3 cards in here plus 2 trivia cards, which I don't know why I would want trivia cards, but let's see what we can get in here. I love these lenticular multi-scene cards. I mean, this was the height of baseball card technology at the time. So, that's weird. Wait, that's Mike Scioscia. Why does it talk about, oh, that's this. So it's the offer for those discs. Just a piece of paper, I'm throwing that out. This is Mike Scioscia. So you can see there. This is, who's that? Who is that? Oh, look, and this is when they had the numbers on the pants for the White Sox. That's hilarious. Brett Burns. Oh, I remember when he was actually an all-star around that time. Get 2 trivia. Who has the highest lifetime slugging percentage among current players? Of those choices, I'm going to go with Mike Schmidt. Schmidt, that's it. I win. What do I win? Nothing. And who was the last pitcher to win 3 games in the World Series? I'm going to go with Catfish Hunter. No, it was Mickey Lolich, who won the 2nd, 5th, and 7th games of the 1968 World Series for the Tigers. Shows what I know. And finally, who is this? Lamar Hoyt. There's Lamar Hoyt again. So Lamar Hoyt, we got the All-Star and the Sport Flicks. We've got quite a Lamar Hoyt collection in our midst now. Let's find out whatever happened to Wayne Krenchicki. Let's see here. Wayne Krenchicki, here he is. Oh, he died 2018, so no longer alive. 3rd baseman, played 8 seasons in 79 to 86, and a manager of the Evansville Otters of the Independent Frontier League. Played at University of Miami. Died at the age of 64. That's sad. Hit 266, 15 home runs, 124 RBI, so not a real power hitter. Played for the Orioles, Reds, Tigers, Reds, Expos. And he played for the Pan American Games in 1975. Grew up in Ewing, New Jersey. Okay. 7th player overall by the Orioles in the 76 draft. Went to the Reds. Played a lot of backup, it looks like. After becoming a free agent from the Expos, did not play in the majors again. Then he played in the Senior Professional Baseball Association, and then folded and was a minor league manager in the Brewers organization. Independent League, so was a baseball lifer. And we don't have any indication about how he died, but another one of those guys who didn't have a terribly successful major league career. Although, you know, playing 7-8 seasons in the pros, it's hard to you know, complain about that. Even if he didn't get much playing time, it's better than most people were able to do. And he got to be in the baseball world for his entire career. So good for you, Wayne. Hats off to you. May you rest in peace. And I'm glad that we can remember you this way. The rest of you, we'll talk to you next time.